Welcome back to Timeless TikTok. Today I'm going to build my 5th watch mod. This one happens to be from my oldest brother, who is not super into watches, but he wants me to be able to build him one, and he wants to be able to say that I built him a watch and this is custom made. And there's a cool aspect to when a family member can build you something and you're able to show it off. I know if this was one of my brothers doing it, I would have the exact same thought. I want one of my brothers to build me a watch and just wear it around. This is my fifth watch mod. This is gonna replicate a Rolex Datejust. Here's I'm unpacking everything. This is gonna be my Jubilee bracelet case that I'm using. So I got the Jubilee bracelet, and then the dial is a silver dial with green Roman numeral hands. This is an interesting package for the hands. I've never had something like this, but these are minute, second, hour hands. I've never had anything this packaged before with the hands. I love it. Keeps it safe. Keeps it from getting all bent up and banged up. So I appreciate the thought behind it for sure. And then last but not least, most importantly, the watch movement here. This is a NH35 movement. So again, it's going to be a major replica of a Rolex. Won't have any authentic Rolex super clone or authentic Rolex parts, but it'll look like one. And that was kind of the whole premise of this, is to make it look like a Rolex. So that's the movement there, NH35, and then here's the stem for the crown and stem. So you got your dial here, you got your case, your hands, second, minute, hour, your movement, and then your watch stem. So I'm looking forward to this build because I know for my brother, watches aren't as much of a big deal to him as they are to me, but he wants me to build it for him, and that's there's a cool aspect to that. So I'm gonna kind of do my checks real quick before I get into the build. I like to go through everything and make sure it all looks good, isn't cracked, isn't scratched, nothing, no blemishes that I need to fix. Of course, I need to wipe everything off. I got dog hair everywhere. So always go through before and use my dust blower just to get dust off, and then dog hair, anything else that's floating around, just trying to remove it from my space to not get it inside the watch. So here's the dial that I was telling you about, the silver with green hands. Can't really see it, not the best lighting in here, but you'll get to see it whenever I'm done. So first, step one here is going to be storing this into a safe place until I'm able to get back to it and place the dial on the movement. I'm going to open up this movement real quick. Check the movement out, make sure it's working. This is next steps for me. Make sure the watch movement is running properly. You can see the balance wheel is going. You can see the rotors moving smooth and fine. So just want to make sure that all the main parts move. Because once I put the watch together, if I don't test it beforehand, then it's just going to be a pain to take it all off. Okay, this is when I will place my dial. So you got to find which hands or which dial feet you need to cut off to be able to place it properly. Now, in the past, I've made the mistake of cutting off the 2 dial feet that matter and leaving the 2 that I do not need. So if you're following along, or if you're watching this to learn how to do this a little bit more, I would highly recommend either putting your finger on the one that you know you need to cut off, or just having a designated way that you do this, because I've done it. I've just eyeballed it, and once I flip the dial over, I completely forget which one I need to cut off. And if you cut the wrong feet off, and you don't have the proper tools to set it back in place or glue it, whatever, then you're kind of SOL. So you have to make sure you're careful with which dial feet you cut off here. Normally I wouldn't touch the dial directly on the face here, but I wash my hands, they're clean, we're good. I'm not worried about smudging it, and I'll clean it off whenever I get everything put together anyways. So I'm not super concerned about that. Now, at the end of the day, is that the right route to go? Probably not, but that's what I do. My finger cots are way too small, so I tend to not wear those. They cut the circulation off my fingers. So got the dial placed here. Clean up my mess here real quick, and then rotate the date indicator until it has hit midnight, rotate the time till it hits midnight. Once you see the date change, that's midnight. I've made the mistake plenty of times of, 1 notch extra, going a little bit too far, and then ruining whenever I set the hands. Once you set the hands, you will be able to tell how far you are from being right. Normally, I'm within a couple minutes of getting it accurate, but from time to time, I do have some mistakes, and I might be 15 minutes off, and you don't want to be 15 minutes off with your watch. If you're 2 or 3 minutes off, that's okay. It's not the end of the world, but you never want to be in a place where you're over 15 minutes off, So this packaging was kind of a pain, but again, like I said, I appreciate the thoughtfulness behind it and keeping everything safe. So now it's time to set my hour hand. I like to, setting it directly at midnight is kind of the best option, because then you don't have to twist it around too much to make it to where you're going to mess up the time or mess anything up. So So time to set the minute hand here, and oh man, this is not what I was wanting. These are brand new sets of hands, and it appears the minute hand is a little bit too big, so that's kind of an issue. I'm gonna see if maybe I have too small of a hand setting on. That wouldn't make a difference here, but try it out. Looks like it's setting. Oh, yep. Nope, it's not working. So anytime the minute hand is not on correctly, it will move with the hour hand. So the minute hand usually spins around a lot faster. It rotates around the watch a lot faster than the hour hand. Well, the issue I'm having here is it appears the hole to the hand is too big. So I'm going to try to resize it. Not really. I don't think it's going to do much. I don't have the proper tools to do this. So give it a couple good tries here, and I'm not gonna buy any new hands until I know I absolutely need to. So yeah, I mean, it's not just falling straight off, which is good, but you also shouldn't be able to just pull the hand off with your tweezers, and there you go, just popped right off, and it's just way too small, or way too big, the hole is. So that's not going to work. I'm going to have to buy some new hands for that, most likely. Maybe have a hand that matches, but I'm pretty sure that I don't. So, next step is buying some new hands, placing them on this movement here, and then we'll be ready to rock and finish up the whole watch and send it to my brother.